Hello, Ezra. What are we doing today?
Making pictures with circles.
Hooray! Today's supply list is pretty simple. You need paper to draw on, a pencil, and a variety of round objects to trace, and then something to color them in with. We're using markers.
You could use crayons.
You could, or colored pencils. This project is inspired by one of my very favorite books called The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. And in this book, there is a young girl who is in art class and she's having a really hard time. She doesn't know what to make. And in the end, there's her art teacher. Her art teacher tells her to just do anything, and she makes a big dot on the paper, slamming it down. She does not look very happy there, does she? And the teacher frames it in nice swirly gold, just like that. And because it's now fancy in the art room, she decides, well, I can make a better dot than that, and she does. She makes a whole art show of dots. And so we decided to make a whole drawing of fancy dots.
I made a frame.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take your round objects, arrange them on your paper, and you're going to fill your paper up with traced circles, and you want them to overlap.
That means well, one goes on top of the other.
Right, and it will look a little like that. And the idea is that we will color in a circle, but not the whole entire circle. When it attaches to another circle, we will change our color or our pattern. The next step is to take your markers and start coloring in your circles. Every time you start coloring in a circle, trace around the outside first, like this. Trace around the outside of your lines, and then color in. You'll notice that every time I hit another line, I change my color. So this is light purple, and this is dark purple, and this is blue, and this is orange, and this is another shade of orange. And then I colored the space in between the orange yellow. Each little shape made by the overlapping circles is now colored a different color. In this drawing, we changed it up a little bit. We did some solid color, and then I took some patterns. We did checkers and stripes and circles and swirls and curly cues to fill in spaces instead of just solid colors. And then at the end, to fill in the outside edges, I made a curly cue border to make it look like a fancy frame. If you choose a small piece of paper, you can fill it in pretty quickly. This one, I just used one section to put in a pattern, and then I had enough energy left when I was finished to color in the background.
Now I'm making my frame. Hi lady, hi lady, hi lady, lady, hi lady.
Well, here you'll notice that Ezra got a little bit Sharpie highlighter happy. He loves this highlighter. And he went right over this line. So to fix that, we took a green marker and just drew some little stripes in there. And now this is a shape, and this is a shape. This is its own shape. This is its own shape. And you can fill them in with patterns and textures. In this drawing, I did a little bit of both. On this half, I did colored pencils, and they're all in solid colors. And then on this portion, I used skinnier colored markers and did patterns. So there's swirls, and there are triangles, and there are stripes, and there are rectangles and swirls. And then down here is just a little bit of black and white for fun.
there'll be a teeny strip of purple. There.
So Ezra does not particularly enjoy coloring, like coloring in a whole space. He worked really hard on this yellow. And when he got all the way to the other end, he was exhausted and he felt like he was done with his drawing, even though it was mostly white with a little yellow bit on it. So, and you'll see that he doesn't always want to stay in the lines, like over here. And that's okay. He's 5 years old. It's age appropriate. But he does find that when he gets to change his colors on a regular basis and make lines or swirls or circles, instead of just coloring in solid space, he finds it more fun, more interesting, and he's more willing to fill up a page. Isn't this beautiful?
Look at this whole thing! Touch that, because it's spiky.
Spiky.